for more than 2,000 years. One name has echoed through the halls of science, philosophy, politics, and knowledge itself. A man who shaped how we think, how we reason, and how we understand the world. He is called father of logic, the father of biology, the master of those who know. This is the complete life story of Aristotle, the man who tried to understand everything. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Hidden Pages. Aristotle was born in 384 BCE in a small Greek town called Stagira. His father, Nicomachus, was a royal physician to the king of Macedon. Unlike most Greek children, Aristotle grew up surrounded by medical instruments, anatomical knowledge, and the practice of observation. From a very young age, he asked questions, endlessly. Why do animals breathe? Why do stars move? Why do humans think the way they do? This curiosity would define his entire life. But tragedy struck early. Aristotle lost both parents while still a child, leaving him under the care of a guardian named Proxenus. And yet, even this hardship could not dim his obsession with learning. At 17, Aristotle traveled to Athens, the intellectual capital of the ancient world. He walked through the gates of Plato's academy, the greatest school of philosophy ever created. For the next 20 years, Aristotle learned, debated, and eventually taught there. But something interesting happened. Aristotle did not entirely agree with his teacher. Plato believed in ideal forms, perfect invisible concepts that shape our world. Aristotle believed the opposite. To understand the world, you must observe it, measure it, dissect it, question it. In this difference, the foundations of science were born. When Plato died in 347 BCE, Aristotle left Athens. The political climate was unstable and anti-Macedonian sentiment was rising. So Aristotle began traveling, first to Assos, then to the island of Lesbos. And here, on the shores of the Aegean Sea, Aristotle transformed from philosopher to scientist. He dissected fish, observed octopuses, documented sea creatures, and classified plants and animals with detail that no human had ever attempted before. His notebooks from this period became the foundation of biology. He classified more than 500 species, explained reproduction, and even identified the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates, centuries before modern science caught up. Aristotle was no longer just a thinker, he was a researcher. In 343 BCE, Aristotle was summoned by King Philip II of Macedon to tutor his young son, Alexander. Yes, that Alexander. Alexander the Great. Aristotle taught him ethics, politics, medicine, logic, and geography. Some historians believe Aristotle shaped Alexander's curiosity and his desire to explore distant lands. And in return, Aristotle gained something priceless: wealth, connections, and access to information from across the Macedonian Empire. This would empower him to create something extraordinary. In 335 BCE, Aristotle returned to Athens and founded a new school, the Lyceum. It was unlike anything the world had seen. Students did not just listen, they collected data, observed nature, recorded political systems, dissected animals, and shared findings. Aristotle walked and taught at the same time, earning his school the name the Peripatetic School, meaning the school of walking. Here, he wrote most of his 400 books, including physics, metaphysics, ethics, politics, poetics, rhetoric, on the soul, history of animals. Aristotle was not building ideas, he was building fields of study, logic, biology, political science, ethics, literary theory, zoology, psychology. He touched almost every domain of human knowledge. Aristotle's mind reshaped the world. 1. Logic. He invented the first system of logic, syllogisms. This became the basis for mathematics, law, philosophy, and even computer science. 2. Biology. He created the world's first biological classification system. He dissected animals, studied embryos, and documented anatomy with extraordinary accuracy. 3. Ethics. Aristotle introduced virtue ethics, the idea that good character creates a good life. His golden mean still influences modern psychology. 4. Politics. He studied 158 city-states and concluded that a stable society needs a strong middle class. His ideas helped shape modern democratic thinking. 5. Literature and storytelling. In poetics, Aristotle explained tragedy, plot structure, and emotional transformation. Modern storytelling, from novels to Hollywood films, still follows his blueprint. In 323 BCE, Alexander the Great died. Athens erupted in anti-Macedonian anger. Because of his Macedonian connections, Aristotle was accused of impiety, the same charge that once killed Socrates. Aristotle fled Athens, famously saying, "I will not allow the Athenians to sin twice against philosophy." He retreated to the city of Chalcis, where he spent his final year writing and teaching quietly. Aristotle died in 322 BCE, at the age of 62. After his death, Aristotle's influence only grew. For over 1,500 years, his writings became the foundation of education in Europe and the Islamic world. In the Middle Ages, he was known simply as the philosopher. His ideas were studied by Thomas Aquinas, Averroes, Avicenna, Renaissance humanists, Enlightenment thinkers, modern scientists. His work influenced biology, logic, psychology, ethics, literature, political science, mathematics, astronomy, computer science. No thinker in history has shaped more fields of knowledge. Even today, Aristotle's ideas appear in scientific method, artificial intelligence logic, constitutional politics, storytelling structures, academic research models, ethical philosophy. Aristotle didn't just change the world, he built the framework through which the world understands itself. Aristotle lived more than 2,000 years ago, but his mind continues to speak through every scientific lab, every philosophical discussion, every political theory, every classroom, and every search for truth. He is not just a figure of the past, he is a companion to every human who seeks to understand life. This is the legacy of Aristotle.